My name is Eli Stroh, and today I will be presenting on Microbe. So just going over the outline, I'm going to talk about which microbe I picked, breaking down its taxonomy and morphology, where it's found in our environment, the medical applications and economical applications of it, a few fun facts, and then the conclusion. So to start, I picked the bacteria Propionibacterium frutinici. And for the taxonomy of it, it's a bacteria within the phylum of Actinobacteria, which is the same as its class. It is part of the order Propionibacterialis, Propionibacteriales, AC family. And then the genus and species are the common name that we have of Propionibacterium frutinici. So for the morphology, it is a gram-positive bacillus bacteria. Typically, it is just a single bacteria at a time. The photo here shows a little bit of clusters, but traditionally, it's more of the ones that are just kind of singled out there. It is a non-spore forming, meaning no endospores are being created. It doesn't move or have anything on its form to be able to help move. It is a mesophile, and its optimal temperature is at 30 degrees Celsius. It is not a pathogen, and it ideally lives within aerobic respiration. And lastly, it is 2.4 to 2.7 MB for its size. Now, it has a couple different roles for it. Within the food service industry, it helps to ferment cheese, specifically things like Swiss cheese. And then it's also within that fermentation helps with some of the dairy products too. And as we see in the medical field, it helps reduce or prevent cancer, specifically colorectal cancer. So how does it get inoculated and how does it enter human bodies? Traditionally, it is added to milk, and that helps create the environment for it to allow fermentation to occur. It then is allowed to sit for a few hours to really let all the bacteria do its thing and gain its form, texture, and some of the holes that we see in Swiss cheese. It's then allowed to age, so that way we get it to the taste that we have come to know that Swiss cheese has. And then in terms of entering the human body, it's consumed orally. And the way that it is excreted from our bodies is via fecal matter once the probiotic use has run its course. So as I mentioned in the last slide, we have the economical value of it. There's the prebiotic and probiotic use, which helps prevent GI issues such as IBS. We have the colorectal health, as it adheres to host cells in the body, and it is able to survive the acidic environment that the stomach of humans creates such a harsh place usually for microbes. And lastly, the apoptosis is due to the lining of epithelial cells that P. frutirici accomplishes. It provides a solid defense mechanism for humans. So, while this is not a pathogen, I want to talk a little bit about the anti-cancer agent that it is. A case study from 2018 has shown that because of the byproducts that Propionibacterium frutirici thrive on, it helps create a toxic environment that colorectal cancer cells um, will die in. Cancer cells rely on the Warburg effect, which is also known as aerobic glycolysis. And in this process, there's a lot of lactate being created, which is perfect for P. frutirici to survive in, since this allows a carbon source to be made And with this carbon source, there's a lot of short chain fatty acids, which increases the production of acetate and propionate production. And that's what creates the cytotoxic environment that creates apoptosis of cancer cells. So why did I pick P. Friederici? One, I have worked in the hospital setting and know some of the bacteria and pathogens that arise in those types of settings, and I did not want to do a harmful pathogen. And so I was very happy to pick early and pick this microorganism. Second is I love Swiss cheese. It's something that I like different forms of it, whether it's baby Swiss or smoked Swiss. And so being able to learn more and throughout this project really was a lot of fun. And then lastly, I am looking to become a registered dietitian. And so being able to have a microorganism that ties in the microbiology side into nutrition was a lot of fun. And I'm really glad that everything kind of came together for that. So in conclusion, P. Friederici is much more than just the fermenter that creates Swiss cheese. It's been linked to anti-cancer agents and that allow our gut microbiome to create a natural defense. So, what's the takeaway? Eat more Swiss cheese. Lastly, here are my citations. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you learned something about Propionibacterium friederici. Thank you.